All right, hopefully you're getting notices. I'll try to put it on Twitter as well. We'll see if we can get everybody coming over here. All right, that should be out there. Mr. Fetus, how are you? First one in, appreciate that. Okay, folks, so tell me what you want to know, and I'll tell you what I saw. Hope you're excited. A lot of Chiefs fans still here, still cheering. You can hear in the background, so they're pretty pumped up. They're waiting for some of the Chiefs to come back out. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you can see right now there is a good amount of them. That fourth quarter from Mahomes, yeah, the defense is that bad, and yes, Mahomes is that good. I like what they changed. They made a lot of it faster paced there on those last couple of drives. Fourth quarter was something they needed to have, and they did. So as folks are walking out here, just give me your questions. I'll give you what I can. It's all right. They'll all wait. I thought I had a spot where it was going to be fine, but okay. Yeah, the balance. I thought what they had is some struggles defensively, and they had to get quicker, get the ball out of his hands faster. I don't know exactly what happened to Fisher. It looked like there was a lot of pressure that way all night long, and that's really the thing that stuck in my head for him trying to deal with that pressure. And as he got on the rollouts, you could tell that he was a little frustrated, at least I could from the stadium. And I think it's something that they have to fix. They could have put another lineman in or had Harris in there to block a little bit more. I think that would have been worth the time and effort. I thought they got good production out of Kareem Hunt. They could have stayed with that. But in the end, despite the 4 and outs, despite putting the defense back out there when they were having trouble stopping anybody, they did get it done. I thought Mahomes and Kelsey kind of woke up there in the fourth quarter. Not sure what turned that around, but it was something that was important. Next week's going to be next week. Let's focus on being happy about this win. A lot of Bronco fans here pretty upset, especially about that snap with 0 on the clock. So got to acknowledge that. And I think I will say this is probably the most publicly satisfying win I've seen in this stadium. Got to take my dad, and folks were actually decent. And yes, Brookie, I do have an awesome wife. I'm glad you got on here. Folks, say hi to the wife. Be nice. Worried about Jacksonville, sure. But there's two sides to Blake Bortles, and you can get good Blake or bad Blake, and I think we'll have to worry about then. Looks like Fournette restrained his hamstring. I think you're going to see Yeldon more, and we can deal with that then. I like what you said. Hunt put his head down and got it done, and that's what they needed to do. I think this comes down to a couple of things. And you can hear the people in the back. I hope you can hear them. Large chop going on in the background here at Broncos Stadium still. So what the deal was, it was part Bob, it was part the players. Bob's not responsible for the tackling. That happens on the players, and there was a lot of missed tackles. I had a count going at one time, and I just stopped because it was a little bit depressing. So you got to put that on the players. Everybody has some responsibility in this particular performance. I will say this. I thought Bob blitzed at some opportune times and had a couple of things that worked out. Obviously, when I'm here, it's a little difficult for me to watch. I do get caught watching the ball a little bit too. Thank you, Brooke. Mahomes was damn impressive. But, I'm going to look at the film. I'll have more for you later in the week because it's interesting to see what I might have missed watching it live. I thought big games came out of Conley, I thought Steve Nelson played pretty tough. I know he gave up a few passes, but I liked what he did. Still down on what Reggie's doing. I want to see more attack out of him. I don't know what's going on with the scheme or if he's being told to hesitate on some of his reads. I know they've done that in the past, as Sutton has, and it's something that is going to limit your players at times. So it's something you got to take into account. So who else? I know there's a couple of calls, I believe, on LDT. I think that last one was on Schwartz, so they got to clean that up. This was a pass rush that they had to deal with because, they have to. They're good. And yeah, the defense, the secondary in particular, did live down to expectations. That's exactly what happened. The good thing was what you saw was Chiefs had options. Their initial half wasn't going the way they wanted on offense. They were able to change it up. They were able to use Kareem more. I thought Kareem did well in the pass game as well, and I thought that was something they could have gone to had they needed it. So there's options there. Watkins, yeah, Demarcus Robinson ran some good routes, but he also had a couple that I thought he really gave up on. I'm going to have to look at the film again, but you want to see Sammy get back. Fire Bob Sutton, you can't. It's the middle of the season. Who's going to take over? Al Harris? Al's never called a defense. It's tough. They're in a bad position in terms of trying to do that. I think what you're going to have to deal with is Bob for the rest of the season. And if it doesn't get turned around, then maybe you can talk about it, but that's what the situation is going to be, I think. Disappointing some of the positions he put players in. Breland Speaks in particular, I thought he gave some assignments that were just not able to be done. 280-pound Breland Speaks cannot be following even a fullback, who isn't Sherman, by the way, down the field in pass coverage trying to stay with him. That's just an expectation that Bob's out of whack on. And I know you're trying to fit players into what you're trying to do, but you have to understand who your players are and what they can and can't do. Sneaking in there, yeah. And there was a couple of times Armani Watts was still confused there on that last drive, but he did make a play, made a couple of them actually, and so I was pretty happy with him. Harris did pretty good. I didn't see any drops from Harris, did you? So I'm getting told it's time to wrap, so thank you all. I appreciate your time. I'll have more for you later in the week. That's live from Denver. Talk to you later.